Highs in the low 60s. More the same for tomorrow. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with lows in the 40s. The St. Clair Lenten Fish Fry is Fridays through Lent at St. Clair's in Canyon Country. Meals are dine-in or take-out, and proceeds benefit local charities and families in need. For more information, go to hometownstation.com.
Welcome. Well, I've taken off a long time, and so everybody, I know you've all been waiting for it, so here it is. Good afternoon, Los Angeles. And we're welcome. We're 1220 AM dial, 98.1 on your FM dial. Now on 2 dials, maybe 3, maybe 4. We're conquering the world. All right, here we are here at KHTS. My lovely co-host, Patty. Patty, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome back.
Very good job on those interviews when I was away.
Thank you. 2 weeks of some awesome guests, and it was fun.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, welcome back.
I've been around. I've been to Silicon Valley for the last 3 days. I also was out of town for a while on a relaxing vacation, so I'm roaring to get back. Ask Brien is a wonderful site, and we've done a lot to revise it. It's about ready to be revised and launched. We already have it launched available, but only in a beta testing environment. And so people that don't know about Ask Brien is a business community where business owners can ask and answer questions of other business owners. We have additional features that are going to be added on with experts and videos and ebooks and webinar scheduling and et cetera, et cetera. So it's really getting big, and eventually we'll launch probably in the next week or two. We're just going through a beta testing. So
and it's all free to business owners. It's
all free to business owners, but experts have to qualify. And if an expert does qualify, they get a whole bunch of features that they can have, like adding on videos, adding on blog posts, and getting exposure. And it's no charge. So, I mean, the experts should be, diving in here any minute as soon as we make that available.
Business owners helping business owners.
That's right, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. And you don't want to necessarily let everybody know what's going on. Like, I don't want you to know that I'm having trouble with my mortgage broker or something. I don't want to tell you that.
Then you should have called me. If you're having trouble with your mortgage lender, that's where I come in.
That's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Yes.
We have a wonderful guest, great background. We're going to be with her in a second, Mandy, and her partner, Oliver. Mandy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. Nice to have you on our show.
Hi, Mandy.
Hello.
So now, is it Mandy and Oliver or just Mandy? Is Oliver there?
I always have Oliver with me, so he is here, but I've got the phone closest to my face, so.
Okay. Well, that's very good. So, Mandy, let me get some background. First of all, what is the name of your business that you currently have?
The one that I believe we'll be talking about today is Authentic Living.
And describe what that means.
So Authentic Living really, it started in, going right into the background. There was a time in my life I was completely lost. I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what I wanted in life. And I spent 30 days in an empty apartment sleeping on the floor, and I really found parts of myself that I didn't even know existed. And it felt, the word that came to me was so authentic. It was so real. It was so in alignment with my truths, and my life took off after that. And so I actually created a business around what had happened to me because I wanted to gift other people with that experience. And so Authentic Living just kind of was birthed during that really crucial experience in my life.
Did you say you had nothing in your apartment? I mean, what, just carpeting? I mean, you slept on the floor, what?
Yeah, so I had carpeting. I had no furniture, nothing. I had a cardboard box. That was my desk. And then I had a little foam mat, and I used that as my bed for it was actually about 45 days.
Wow.
That's fantastic. I love that story.
Now, and what were you doing before that?
So I was working in the corporate world. I've been living in Arizona, and I decided I'm going to fly across country for a job that in my heart I knew that I was really good at, that I had done before, but it just wasn't in my heart to do it any longer. And so I made the wrong choice, and I headed out there anyhow. I didn't have a dime to move anything. I didn't have much to my name anyhow. And I was living in Florida, so I moved across country, no friends, no family. and started this job and was just tanking in it because I was so just done. I had no passion towards it. And what I realize now is that I was getting set up to jump into entrepreneurship, to start my business, to really run my life. But I was completely lost during that time. So I was in the corporate world trying to really find a way out, not realizing that I was trying to find a way out.
And what was that job that you're doing in Florida?
In Florida, I was outside sales.
And for what type of company?
It was a university, and it was an incredible, incredible company. Anyone would have killed for the job, but my heart was just not in it. I'd been with the company for years, and I couldn't do it anymore.
You know, it's sometimes the darkest moments in our lives that tends to shed the most light. And, you know, laying on the floor in your apartment in the emotional darkness, I guess is the best way to put it. That type of leverage is what often is necessary to open up the new opportunities. So good for you for allowing that to happen.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was wired that way. You know, I was wired I have to hit rock bottom before I'll make a change in my life.
Yeah.
That was prevalent in all areas, and so it had to happen that way until I began to kind of reformulate, well, how soon can I make change versus when it's so painful that you have to.
Yeah.
So we're going to check off that box, rock bottom. So now that's over with. Now the rest of your life, you're done. That'll be
no more rock bottoms
in your history past.
I've raised that basement, so even if I hit rock bottom, it's nothing like before.
Even if it was on your bucket list, it's gone. It's checked off. You know, you got to go now. You got to go to Africa or somewhere. I don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
So how did you meet Oliver?
So Oliver was a friend on Facebook, and we had mutual friends, and he reached out to me, and he said, you know, I really like your videos, but I can't figure out what you're selling. And at the time, I wasn't selling anything. I was just going through this very, you know, personal growth, and I wanted to share it with the world because I was lonely as all get out, you know, living in Florida by myself. I was like, well, and I got offended. I was like, well, I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving love to the world. And he's like, well, you should be selling something. And I was like, let's talk.
And so what is the name of that business?
Authentic Living?
Authentic Living.
And the two of you created it, correct?
So I actually founded it myself. Oliver, you know, ended up turning into my best friend, and now he's my fiancé. We're getting married. And he's also my business partner and everything in between. He's my biggest cheerleader and my absolute support system. He's absolutely amazing, hence him always being with me because we're always traveling the world together. But I actually created that company on my own, but I have to equate my success to his support and his love because I did not believe in myself, nor did I have the skills to operate a business properly when I first met him, and I really wanted to do this for the world.
Well, first of all, people don't know what authentic living is, so can you give us background? How does that work? What is it?
Absolutely. So it's kind of this concept, and authenticity is used sometimes really appropriately and really inappropriately in the context of however someone tries to place it. And so authentic living, for what we use it for, is really helping people find true empowerment. And so I was fortunate enough to travel around the world studying with scientists, using my methodologies, a lot of my coaching methodologies, therapy methodologies. You know, I came from, of course, working in the university. You get a lot of degrees for free. So I had a lot of education under my belt, but I was like, you know, there's some things missing in the world of therapy. And so I started reverse engineering my process towards success, and finding how can I simplify this enough to be able to gift this to someone else so that they could, in essence, almost become their own therapist in a way, that they can solve those day-to-day problems on their own without having to sit with it for 15 years. And so as I began this process, it caught a lot of heat in a very positive way with scientists. Psychiatric nurses were shadowing me. I was doing a lot of different studies on how the brain was reacting to these methodologies. And then I began creating programs around it so that someone didn't have to fly, you know, to Norway to work with me. They could get these programs and begin to reverse engineer their own lives. And so authentic living was really helping people find true alignment, however it looks, in whatever way it is, and finding empowerment to live it day in and day out, to make the tough choices and to make them fast. Because sometimes, you know, we have this idea it takes 10 years to make a really difficult decision, right? Well, no, it takes 2 seconds to make it. It takes 10 years to find the courage or to understand clearly what that decision has been doing to us all along. But the shift can happen almost instantaneously, and life can propel forward. And so when I realized I'm doing that, but how am I doing it? Why am I doing it? And how am I doing it for individuals I'm working with? it kind of blossomed into this whole idea of authenticity. That's the word that I use to describe people finding their truest path and thriving in all areas, having all areas of their life, all boxes checked off, or like you said, the bucket list getting filled.
You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 on your FM dial. Patty, do you have a question?
So, so Mandy, is the Authentic Living company and what the services that you offer, are you acting as coach, consultant to your clients? If someone calls you and says, you know what, I love your message, I resonate with what you're saying, what's the steps for you to help them become their own therapist, as you said?
Absolutely. So there's multiple facets, and it really depends on the individual. I don't have the capacity with my time frame right now and running multiple companies and initiatives. I can't give my personal time to individuals very often. So we do plenty of events where we'll have 20 to 50 people who come and we do incredible shifts. I have coaches who work underneath me now who have been interning with me for over a year. They're now certified to do these types of deep work with individuals. And so a lot of it goes through our online programs. We have a 30-day online program. That's really kind of tapping into like, hey, is this really something that resonates for me? Because it may not for some. And so a lot of folks come in through that, and they're like, after those 30 days, they're like, what else can I buy? How else can you serve me? And they want more, And so honestly, our biggest problem has just been meeting the need for more with me creating new products. But we're events-based. We have online programs. But I don't do one-on-one work anymore. Unfortunately, that was really for studying purposes when I was living in Scandinavia.
Now, do you have a degree?
Yes, a couple. I have a degree in business, psychology, and then also leadership. I started my PhD in industrial organization, and that was the same time that I decided I'm quitting my job. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Who needs a PhD anyway? And my mom was like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? And I was like, I just can't do it. I don't know. Maybe if I can get a PhD in like metaphysics, I might be willing. But I actually ended up dropping out of the industrial organization. It wasn't interesting enough for me at the time.
That's awesome. So the online and then the events that you do, how often do you hold these events? And are these like throughout the world, throughout the U.S.? Where are these?
Yes. Yeah, we're in, I want to say, don't quote me on this, I think we're in about 20 different countries now. We have folks, right now, all of our events are held in Mexico and the U.S., and we've got folks who come in from all over the world. Even sometimes we do 2-day events, and we'll have folks flying in from Sweden or from the Netherlands or Australia, and it's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. I'm not tooting my horn by any means, but just the environment we've created and the love and support and the growth that we offer just in the company, like all aspects, all coaches and everything, we run together, and it's absolutely amazing. And so we are mainly events in the U.S., but we have folks come in from all over the world for 2-day events, 4-day events. We just started it's called the Golden Ticket Experience, and we go to incredible places around the world, and they don't know what they're going to be doing. And we run them through just these wild, crazy experiences of growth, diving deep into themselves, working their businesses if they want to start something, finding their purpose work. I mean, it's tailored to all types of individuals, but we usually do at least 2 events per quarter. Just depends on the schedule. And we're very intuitive-based is what we call it, but really it's just we go with the flow. So I'll be like, let's do an event in 3 months. And we do it, and it fills up, and somehow we're always supported by the universe with it.
That's great.
When did you start?
Let's see, the end of 2015 was when I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this. I need to help the world, and I have to get out of my own way. Because I think my biggest hurdle, my biggest struggle with starting a business, as well as doing this type of a business, was I'm afraid of failure, and I'm afraid of being judged, and am I good enough? And, who am I to help people? And I think a lot of people go through that when you're in a service-based business, and you go through so many trials and struggles and triumphs, everything in between. The highs are high, the lows are low, and there are 15 minutes in between. So when I realized, okay, I've got to get out of my own way.
That sounds like you're pregnant or something. 15 minutes in between.
You know, I'm pregnant with love for the world, man.
She's birthing
every
herself
day,
for the
man.
world, yeah.
Authentic living is my baby. It really is. You know, I keep saying I can never let this go because it's my baby. It's so very true. And to see the shifts that people experience is so amazing. It really is. So 2015, the end of 2015.
So it's been just over 2 years. You've done an amazing amount of growth, and it sounds like you've reached a lot of people between all your events and the online work. So that's tremendous growth. So good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's insane.
That's awesome.
So you can basically say from corporate to success in less than 2 years.
In 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it was my first month in business. And let me tell you, I've had plenty of bad months after that. But my first month in business, you know, at the time in my corporate world, I was barely making six figures. And my first month of business, I made, I think it was like 24,000 or 30,000. And I was in shock. And I was like, this is impossible. This isn't real. This can't happen to someone like me. And now those are, you know, if we make that much a month, we're like, what are we doing wrong? But, you know, it was, I'm trying to reverse engineering that process of being like, this is normal. Success is normal. And I was really fortunate to surround myself with people who did normalize success. And that was such a huge component to me creating what I created so fast was there is no other way in my mind.
Yeah, having that mindset and being surrounded by those leaders is critical. So for a business owner, and for someone listening who's a business owner, how did you take it from zero to where you're at today in 2 years, which is a relatively short period of time? And, you know, we've heard all kinds of stories where people are 5-10 years, you know, trugging at something and they can't get it launched.
You want her secrets, don't you?
Well, don't share your secrets, but give us some tips. And if you want to share a secret, you know, feel free. but how? I mean, what are some of the things that you did? Was it social media? Was it just networking? Was it getting on the phone? Was it just pounding the pavement?
Then send those to my personal email account.
Not Peter's, no.
I got you. Yeah, and so this is probably going to peeve a couple people off. So I'll speak about it, you know, strategically as well as the way that I like to talk about it, which is it sounds much more woo-woo. Truly, it was down to mindset and that silly word, authenticity. There was such a huge component to me being able, you know, my business was first ran online only. And anyone who owns an online business, I didn't know that it was so hard to be successful online because I decided, well, this is something that I'm doing with the goodness of my heart, and so I'm going to be successful. And that was a devout truth within me. It was an absolute faith. I will be successful. And, you know, the faith of a mustard seed can truly move a mountain. And that faith, any time that I've had that type of faith of, it doesn't matter how it has to look. We get really stuck in how it has to look. Here's the strategy. It's a business, right? It's a logical thing. So we have to be tied to every step of the process. And I was someone that I was trying to control it so much that I wasn't doing it in a healthy way, one. So my quality of life wasn't going to go anywhere that I wanted it to go regardless. But more importantly, I wasn't able to see things from a grander scale of, you know, and I studied, you know, physics, I studied metaphysics, and so I understood how energy worked, you know, in some capacities, I should say. And I was like, you know, when I have this deep faith that things will always turn out, that if I want to make $1 million, I will. If I want to help 20 people today, I will. If I, you know, whatever the rule is or the idea is, when I create, I spend more of my energy creating the energy within inside of me that I believe it to be true. It can be no other way because my environment reacts to me. I don't react to my environment. And so there was those components. And then, of course, on a more strategic scale, it was learning the skills of what business do I want to create? What service do I want to provide? What problem do I need to solve? And what are the best platforms to solve those? And I was very careful about who I took advice from. Even if they were far more successful than me, as odd as that sounds, I still ran it through my filter to say, does this feel right for me? Because I'm still going to have to be the business owner here. I still have all of my rules and my beliefs and so forth. So someone might tell me something, but if I run it through my filter or my own programming, I may mess it up along the way because I don't think exactly like them. And they're not giving me every piece of information for this to be a successful endeavor. So I would always run it through, does this feel truly right to me? Does this feel like something I'm capable of? And if not, then I'd say, well, if there's a will, there's a way. So how can I recreate this experience so that it does work in my favor, that I can make this happen even if I have these types of rules around it, and it would come through.
Well, hold on to those thoughts. And obviously, if you had asked Brien back then, you would have just gone to Ask Brien side. But we'll be right back.
Your building sign customers to your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater. Or go to feathersphoto.com. That's feathersphoto.com.
A Royal Suite.
A Royal Suite Home Furnishings is celebrating its 41st President's Day sale with the lowest prices ever. Now through February 28th, a 3-piece queen bed, only $148. Or a 5-piece queen bedroom set with bed, dresser, and nightstand, just $388. A beautiful 5-piece sectional, only $1198. Bedroom sets from $799. And foam mattresses on sale. Hurry, limited stock only. Plus 48 months financing, no interest on approved credit. A Royal Suite Home Furnishings in Center Point across from Sam's Club or at aroyalsuite.com.
A Royal Suite.
Sweet dreams.
What will you find at Assistance League Resale Store? You won't know until you visit us on Main Street in downtown Newhall. You could find the perfect dress or shirt, perhaps a sweater in just the right color. We have clothing for men, women, and children. Household treasures and holiday decorations abound. Select shoes, jewelry, toys, or a good book. Just look for our decorative window and come in to enjoy shopping at Assistance League Resale. For more information, visit our website, assistanceleaguesantaclarita.org.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
City of Hope is a world leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope community practice location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer. Distance to quality care. Santa Clarita benefits from City of Hope's compassionate care and renowned clinical expertise. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Welcome back to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. I have to start adding that and 98.1 FM. I like that. And. Okay, so here we are, and we're back.
Help! Anybody out there?
Have we lost you? Mandy? Okay, you're back. You're back.
She's saying a prayer for us.
Patty had some really specific questions. I didn't want to push the button, but she's making me. So, have you heard of Headspace?
I didn't ask that question. Don't throw me under the bus there, mister.
Have you heard of Headspace?
I have not.
Okay, Headspace is a site which teaches you how to meditate, and they went from 2 million to 22 million people in 5 years. And I actually listened to the president. I was on a convention in Silicon Valley this past week, and the president of the company who founded it was there and was answering questions. Of course, he's like every old person. I think he was almost in his 30s, so.
Well, the cool thing about that is that it tells us as a society that we're all looking to calm our minds. We're all looking to find ways to,
except for me,
tap into. That's the truth. Tap into the ability to quiet our minds, calm ourselves. We're more productive when we're calmer, and so that's great. So coming back to Mandy, your work, it sounds like it's a very transformational work, and the authenticity behind it is probably why you have been so successful, because people can tell somebody who's not authentic and somebody who is, and they resonate obviously with one that does represent themselves the way they truly are. So we left to the commercial break. By the way, you're listening to the hometown station, KHTS. I don't know if you said that when you came back.
Remember, and
oh, that's right. You did say that. Sorry.
And.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my gosh. How did I forget that? We were talking about, your work. Remind me what we're talking about when we left.
Oh my God.
See, now you startled me. I got all flustered.
Okay. So let's just go down to the nitty gritty. All right. How do you make money?
That's a good question. I sell my soul. No.
You're too altruistic to be selling your soul, so go ahead.
I know. It wouldn't work very well. The authenticity, they'd see right through it. So it starts typically with an online program. So it's an online program. They come in anywhere from $200 to $330, and that is ran through ads online and a webinar. And so they are sold through the webinar and then filtered into a group. And this group is incredible. And one of the biggest things I did was create a tribe, create an environment where they weren't going to be able to get what I was offering anywhere else, which was unconditional love and support. It's a private group where they can share their inner thoughts, and they're truly met every time with love and support. And because I have other coaches as well as myself and my other employees, we're able to all pour that love into them, and it's spread like wildfire. So when you're in this type of service-based business where it's all about transformation and lasting change, and your reputation is everything, I had to make sure that it was going to be a safe environment. And so they filter into that group, and let me tell you, that group, you can literally sell anything to them, and they will buy, because when you build your audience with trust, if they know, they like, and they trust you, even if it's just online, when you can create that much trust in your clients, in your customer base, the results are amazing. And this goes with products. We sell now shirts and different paraphernalia as well. We have ambassador programs, which, of course, I make funds from, percentages of anything they bring in. I'm teaching people how to have a presence online. We run all of our workshops, of course. That allows for us to, if I want to sell a high-ticket program, which is really what I'm known for, at $2,000, $6,000, or like I have a mastermind annually, which is anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 per person, they know that whatever it is that they're seeking, they're going to get, because I and my team are going to work our butts off to achieve that. And we always do right by the customer. So we've got multiple tiers. It typically starts with that online program, and then it goes into now we do additional online programs that my coaches run, live online events for folks who are in Thailand, and they're not going to fly in anytime soon, but they want that experience of getting more interaction. They can do that and show up online for 2 days straight. We have our live events where folks are flying in with those multiple components. And, of course, I wrote a book as well. And so talking about many, those are things that bring that in as well. And then all of my coaches and my love ambassadors is what we call them. They're always bringing in new individuals to introduce to a lot of our methodologies and our teaching.
How many employees do you have?
Right now we have 5, and then we run with 5 in the Philippines as well. So we have an initiative called Hustle and Heart, the philanthropic initiative. I actually had an employee who was working in the Philippines, and we decided to kind of move her over into a different sector because she had such a big heart. And we decided that we were going to every month do an event in the Philippines serving entrepreneurs out there. Giving them education, showing them a different way. We provide supplies to cancer patients, the abandoned elderly, and so forth. And so our team is continuing to grow. And then we also have 15 love ambassadors.
And since yesterday was Valentine's Day, hope everyone had a Valentine. What is a love ambassador?
You don't say it that way, though, right?
Sounds kind of creepy. Our love ambassadors are individuals who are really spreading the word about, how healing love can be. And they're also, of course, they're promoting our programs. But they're individuals who have taken the lessons that they've learned with me to the next level. They're spreading it. They're in their communities. They're doing events. They are spreading the love online, and people are resonating with it. So they're speaking their truth. They're finding their own authenticity in their voice, and they're creating audiences of their own and bringing them into really what we teach in authentic living.
Do you tend to attract women or men or both?
It's so funny. When I first started my company, it was still called Authentic Living, but I only worked with men. It was helping men start over. And I had moved, when I moved over from personal development a little bit more into kind of like that manifestation component and the psychology behind manipulating energy, women became more attracted to my products. So now we're about 75%, 25% split, but the men that we do have are seriously the most incredible men. They're so awakened. They are extremely successful entrepreneurs. They're phenomenal, very in-touch individuals, but it is primarily women now.
So your audience are primarily entrepreneurs then who just want to take it to the next level?
Yes.
Okay. That's great. And the online group that you do, is this an ongoing, like you meet once a week and you have like for lack of a better word, group chats, or do you do a Skype where there's a video component, or how does that work?
We have two. We have a couple different groups. One of them is called the Authentic Tribe. We do live Q&As in there. My coaches typically handle most of those Q&As. I try to get in there at least once a month and do one. Those are amazing. I never thought, I was so against having a Facebook group. I was like, I don't know, am I going to be able to commit my time to it? And it was the smartest thing I've done, and it's the only reason I really think, at least from this bottom line, that my business grew so quickly, was creating the tribe. There is nothing more important than creating a tribe. At this day and age, the way that, human consciousness is, as well as just individuals and their buying patterns, they need to feel attached to the product at this point. There's so many products. Every industry is oversaturated almost. So it's so important to create that feel, because then anytime that you're offering something, they know that they can trust the product. They know that it's something that they're familiar with, and that's what people want to buy. And so creating that, and then we do live Q&As in what we call the Authentic Living group, which is a paid group as well. And we do live Q&As in there. We used to do it weekly. We're moving more towards the month. And it's so cool because I have a client base that literally I can say, hey, guys, I'm going to be striving towards, building a new company for the next 2 months. So I'm going to be backing off a little bit. And, X, Y, and Z coaches are going to be showing up for you guys. Want to let you know that I love you. And they're like, that's amazing. Keep growing. It's just so supportive, what I've created and what my coaches continue to facilitate in those types of environments.
You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1.
He entertains himself.
I love it.
Oh, gosh, this room. Yeah, I think it's great. You've got a great marketing funnel. You've got a great strategy. You've got a great audience. It's obviously run with the true intent to serve and help, your tribe, as you call it. And I'm a firm believer that the tribe is a huge component, regardless of what you do. I'm in the mortgage business, and even in that industry, having people that know you, like you, trust you, they talk about you, they become your little disciple, so to speak, and it just becomes, everyone does better. So, Peter, did you have any more questions that you specifically?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, you're full of questions.
You think I don't have questions?
I was going to say
like taking a
something else, but stop myself there.
So, how did you get your first customer?
My very first customer was actually a post on Facebook, and so I had made a post, and I said, you know what, I just want to serve individuals. This is so uncomfortable for me to do. I feel super I was just authentic. I was like, this is not normal for me, and I feel really weird doing it. And I offered to serve folks, and also believe that I deserved to be compensated for it. So those were my very first clients. Was actually 3 individuals who reached out at once, and then I did a workshop soon after that. But when I was creating kind of the marketing online, my first client came in off of a free. I used to only do free traffic. I never did paid traffic on any social media sites, anything online, internet marketing. And so I was actually able to fill up a few programs for a couple months on completely free traffic. And so I still remember when I got that first sale online where I was like, I didn't even have to have a sales conversation with them. These people bought. And I was so amazed and so proud of myself. It was amazing.
That's
How do you get free traffic?
So
I like Facebook.
This is the thing. This is the thing about authenticity, man. I'm telling you. When you are authentic online, people resonate with it. And so I was using my Facebook page, my personal, didn't have a fan page, nothing. I'm totally unorthodox when it comes to creating the steps to my business. And I decided, well, I'm going to market on just my personal page. I've had a lot of people who resonate with my videos that I've been making. The biggest thing is when you build content, and you give content freely, because a lot of folks, they'll give content and then they sell. And then people are like, oh, okay, so I know every time I get content that there's this inauthentic or manipulative, desire behind it. They just want my money. But I was giving content up to 2 weeks without offering anything. And so when I would offer, people are like, I have been waiting to buy from you. Thank goodness, because they've resonated so much with my content, and they're confused. You confuse your audience. They're like, why aren't you asking for my money? Why aren't you trying to sell something to me? And so I would only sell after I'd given enough value that they're like, you changed my life for free. I can't imagine what it would be like to pay you.
So it sounds like a free trial period. You know, software companies give 14 days free trial. Then you get hooked, and then you go, okay, I'll go to the next advanced model. So that's your business model. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We're giving far more free content. We create free programs. We try to give literally as many tools as we would to someone who is paying for free. It just seems that when it comes to transformation, folks need someone who's there to support them, or they need that missing component of, hey, I'm willing to invest in myself. That's what actually creates the shift. So there's no scarcity to it. You know, a lot of individuals, especially again in, you know, the coaching world or therapy world, it's, well, let me give you just enough, but not the full equation. And I feel like that's a little bit unethical. So I try to give as much as I possibly can. And, you know, the majority of an audience isn't going to be able to grasp all of it and run with it anyhow. But at least you're showing up and fully serving.
So what's the additional items you receive on the paid versus the free?
The paid program, of course. So it is a group where it is highly regulated. We make sure that no one is getting in, because a lot of the things that we talk about are very intimate. People are ending relationships, or they're quitting jobs, or, you know, they're in a place where they're starting new businesses, or, you know, dealing with partner issues and so forth. And so that paid group has shown to be, at least from feedback from clients, has been one of the biggest components that they have been excited about. And then, of course, the program. So we'll get plenty of free content out. We give a lot of mantras. People can sign up for free, you know, video lessons. But a lot of the paid programs are 30 days where you're getting accountability. You're getting every component. You're getting homework. You know, you're getting more in depth. Whereas if you were to get it for free, you've got to kind of run on your own a little bit, which a lot of folks do. And I get a lot of messages where they're like, I'm good to go. That changed it all for me. And some people just need that small shift, while as others need a little bit more of a hand-holding experience. If you're like me, that's definitely how I'm wired.
Does anyone say the dog ate my homework?
Often. So we're not like, fortunately, you know, I almost became a professor. We're not like professors, so we don't check the homework. You know, we're adults. Most of us, you know, we have some teenagers who go through some of our anti-suicide programs, but as far as our transformational programs, they're on, you know, they've got to still hold themselves accountable.
Well,
So
Patty
Mandy,
can't wait to ask questions.
well, no, I was going to just ask where can somebody find your videos and your information?
YouTube.
Well, is there a website, and is there specifically a location that someone can go to check out your videos?
Yeah, so if you really want to see the entire process, and I actually tell a lot of my folks who come in, a lot of my employees or my coaches, that if you follow my last 2-3 years on Facebook, I'm an open book, I really am. You'll see how unsure of myself I was all the way through, all the videos that I was releasing, all of the love that I was giving. It's all made public on Facebook, as well as, you know, my fan page. They're both just under Mandy Morris, and then my website, which is mandymorris.love. We've got a little bit more marketing videos, but there's a lot of love in there as well.
So is authenticliving.com yours or no?
Authentic Living is not mine.
Okay.
Nope. We stuck with mandymorris.love.
Okay, mandymorris.love. So that's where we find you. Okay. Want to make sure that we
Who are your competitors?
Find you.
You know, it's so funny. I actually did a survey a couple months ago with some of my folks, and I said, who do you think my competitors are? And I was getting names like Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, which I cannot say yay or nay to. I'm so incredibly humbled by, because I know those individuals, and they run some of my friend circles, and it's amazing to hear those. But a lot of the individuals I hear are those huge manifestation gurus and personal development folks. That's pretty much apparently who my competition is. But then I've also heard, you know, the cool thing about authenticity is that no one can do something exactly how I do. You know, and I studied physics. I didn't study manifestation. I didn't study personal development directly. I was witnessing it in my own life and turning it into lessons. So it's really hard to compare when everyone is having their own twist to it. And what I've noticed is that individuals need to hear it from a specific person. You know, it's not just the words. It's like you read a quote 1,000 times, but until you fully take it in and it becomes a part of you, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought that quote was so simple and so stupid, and now I really get it. That's the same thing with teachers, is that until you're ready or you meet the right teacher, the lesson doesn't fully go through. And when it goes through is when life changes.
Yeah, I love the personal development world. I'm very entrenched in that myself, and making that shift. I mean, I personally still struggle with days where I just, it's hard to make that shift. But when you get to that point where you feel like you've had some change in your chemistry or change in something, it's really amazing. We have about a minute left before we got to go to the next commercial break. Did you want to ask one last question, Peter, or should I?
That is just such an open-ended thing. Wow.
I'm giving you an opportunity.
Well, I'll ask the questions that you typically ask. So, when is your next event?
Our next event is actually in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, March 8th through 12th, and then we head to Sedona. I mean, you're coming. We got a room for you.
So where are you?
It's a really nice resort.
I'll be at the resort.
Puerto Vallarta, yeah.
with my pina colada.
There you go.
And now, if people want to sign up, they go to your site. Is that correct?
Yes, we're actually booked up for our events all the way through about, I would say, October. And sometimes we have a few fall out and we can open up availability. But absolutely, they can go to the site and request more information, and then they can get kind of the event details through there. We're
going to ask you for more details in a second, but we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back. KHTS 1220 and 98.1.
Little Eye Leaders is the newest preschool in the Santa Clarita Valley. At Little Eye Leaders, our outstanding teachers lead with intellect, perspective, and heart. That means our programs provide a warm, nurturing atmosphere to meet the unique needs of each child. We believe that play is a powerful form of learning for young children. That's why our kids have every opportunity to learn through the magic and excitement of play. Parents, schedule a tour today by calling 303-0400 or online at littleeyeleaders.org.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
Santa Clarita Valley has a long history of safe, reliable water service. SCV Water is dedicated to increasing efficiencies, protecting our vital resources, and improving their customers' experiences. That's you. Meet them at their new home on the web at yourscvwater.com. There, you can find the latest news, rebates, and much more. That's yourscvwater.com. They can't wait to serve you.
Do you like to rock across Africa?
Then the wait is over.
Africa Rocks! Africa's Greatest Hits is now available at the San Diego Zoo! And who could forget 99 red baboons?
Or the African crested porcupine smash hit, I Got Quills to Pay the Bills! Hey, don't get too close!
And the hits keep on coming!
Africa Rocks has all your favorites from 6 different African habitats.
Hungry like a leopard.
Ibex is back.
Harder, better, Fossa stronger.
And a new track from Kendrick Lamar.
Now, Larry.
Yes, Chuck?
A collection of this magnitude, I'd fly to Africa.
Well, don't pack your bags, friend. Africa Rocks is only available right here at the San Diego Zoo.
Wow, that really does rock.
No, it Africa Rocks.
Welcome to Africa Rocks. Experience 6 different African habitats, including our first ever aquatic enclosure with African penguins. Only at the San Diego Zoo.
They've been making us dance since the 60s. The Motown greats, the Spinners, coming to Santa Clarita on Thursday, February 22nd at the new Canyon Club in the Valencia Town Center.
I'll be around. I'll be working my way back to you, babe.
The Spinners, singing their string of classic hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The Spinners, and featuring our one and only local singing sensation, Savannah Burrows.
You were good to me.
Savannah Burrows and the Spinners. The Spinners and Savannah Burrows, Thursday, February 22nd at the New Canyon Club in the Valencia Town Center. Tickets available through Ticketmaster. Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. That's hometownstation.com/Charlene.
Welcome back. We're on the Ask Brien show, and we're here with Mandy, and we're here with my co-host Patty, and we had a couple questions for you. So, let me ask you a question: how does a business owner get benefit from using your service?
Well, we actually do multiple. We're doing one actually in Sedona in like May, end of May, 1st of June, where we do a lot of high-ticket sales. So although we talk about a lot of woo-woo manifestation, what I've noticed, we've worked with a lot, Oliver and I both, my partner and I, we've worked with many millionaires, some billionaires, on really taking business to the next level. And so what we've realized, and this is something obviously that I learned from the get-go, is that business is so much mindset. And it's not just like, oh, I believe in myself, rah, rah. It's where are my blind spots in believing that something is possible, or in activating different parts of my brain to where I can see new components of how to run my business in a new way, or how to further empower my employees. And so a lot of times we're doing, usually about twice a year, we try to do, we call millionaire workshops or millionaire mindset. That's where we do workshops where it's usually 2 to 3 days, and we are digging deep into the tacticals of typically online businesses, as well as just the entire energy and environment and mindset of a business owner.
But, for instance, okay, I'm a business owner, correct? And I listen to the Ask Brien show to learn about how I can help my business be successful. So is it the fact that you're selling an ability for business owners to reduce stress and make more cognizant decisions? Is that it? Or what would you think it is?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. One of the biggest things that I set out to do for the entire world was to create a sense of peace in individuals. And entrepreneurs, as we know, we deal with the most stress. We deal with the most, suicide. I mean, I'm, of course, a million things are running through my head of all of the crap that we go through in either starting a business, starting a new business, or running one in general. And a lot of what I do is creating balance again. Sometimes we think, okay, it's in my business infrastructure. That's where the problem lies, or that's, where the solution is. And in the oddest of ways, and the way that the brain works, sometimes it has nothing to do with the business. It has to do with what's going on in the family, or what's going on in, the physical body that is causing, or that's the key that gets to the root problem of why someone is starting to lose momentum as an entrepreneur. So I hate to say it so broadly, but it's really about finding that root factor of why is this occurring. And again, that was something that we learned in Norway when I was dealing with psychosomatic health issues. It would be the craziest of reasons that someone's brain would tell their heart to shut down, and it was different for every individual. But once you find that root, life is like a completely different experience, and it can cause extreme skyrocketing in business and, of course, in the personal life and everything in between.
What does Oliver do at the company?
A lot of it is supporting me. At the end of the day, I love going and serving people. I love product creation. I don't like operations. And so Oliver first started in supporting me in operations, and, just through his love for me was helping me create a successful business when it came to getting the marketing to go out, getting all the websites up, finding the right employees. And now, of course, my employees run all of those sectors, but he's more of my second advisor nowadays. But originally, he was ground up getting things started for me.
So if you're not teaching specifically, and you have other people that are doing the teaching, and tell me if I'm wrong, then you're more strategic now at that level and try and coordinate things, or what?
Yes, it's all about growth, expansion, content creation. How do we make more money? How would you turn this into a $50 million business in the next 5 years? How do we serve more people? And a lot of it, especially with 2018, has been spreading the brand at a higher level and also creating new experiences. We are moving towards a more event-based business. That seems to be where primarily we make our money. And so we've been focusing a lot on that. And so I'm looking at, okay, what creates the most impactful experience? I need to make sure that all of my coaches are providing the right training, that they're getting what they need, that their cups are full. You know, my employees work on an emotional basis sometimes, so they need their cups full. They need to feel like they're supported by their leader. And so a lot of my time now is spent on the content creation, building the content for the events, as well as new online programs that we want, doing, a lot of interviews, rewriting the book, and supporting my employees.
Well, we
Mandy,
have to leave, but we just have one last question.
Yeah, no, you've been awesome. I don't even know if I have time for a question.
I just want to know, where can people find you?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I would say my website is the easiest right now, mandymorris.love. We're not going through a rebranding, but we're going through an expansion of branding. So we're trying to keep those avenues as simple as possible for now.
Okay.
And so it would be my website, Mandy Morris.
Santa Clarita Philharmonic has begun its season of free concerts. The SCP is a non-profit community-based volunteer symphony orchestra comprised of local musicians from throughout the Santa Clarita Valley who are dedicated to providing quality classical music for the residents of the Santa Clarita Valley. Like the Santa Clarita Philharmonic on Facebook or visit Santa Clarita Philharmonic